Welcome to court. I am Judge Joe, and today I am with the bad boy Kenneth.
You always point the wrong way.
Ugh.
I do.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I have Matt in the hat.
That's me. I'm Matt, wearing a hat. You should go buy some on the merch site.
And then I have Jimmy Wray, owner of WNY Gaming. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about the best store in America?
Yeah, sure. We are an all-around entertainment center. We're changing from just a game store to an entertainment destination. We've got escape room. We have a quarter-sized indoor court that we do basketball, soccer. We host a fencing club. We do pickleball regularly every couple of days. We turn that court into a full convention setup that we run big conventions inside the store. But yeah, we have all the other basics as well, like trading cards, board games, disc golf, you name it. You know, we do D&D, Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, Pokemon, Lorcana. The list goes on. We pretty Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry, should be very. We do a little bit of everything here.
Yu-Gi-Oh is probably the least that you do, and that's at my top.
It's getting bigger now that my new manager that I just hired is super into it. So she's ramping it up, and we're about to start taking off with it. And then all the Bandai games that are coming out, like Dragon Ball Super Fusion, One Piece Union, or whatever. Every week it feels like a new manga game is coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that, like, when I just, like, walk past, like, the card aisle in Walmart and stuff, and I'm just like, what the fuck are these games coming out? That's like how I found out about Disney Lorcana, because it was sold out, but I seen, like, the picture for it, and I was like, Disney has a card game now?
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Disney knows how to run the hype train, that's for sure.
They know how to get money quick.
Jimmy, I didn't know if you know this, but a great little marketing idea for you. In our presence, you have the international pickleball champion in Judge Joe. So if you ever need to have like a meet and greet, now he won't compete. He won't compete because he doesn't want to put that title up for.
No, I'll compete. I just need my partner because it was a tag team championship.
I heard the older you get, the better you get at it too. So he should be.
First time I ever played was at an old people's like community down in Florida. And I went down there, was just playing, had a guy who had to be near 70, had like the most perfect Staten Island accent. It was just, hey, you want to play him? Oh, we're just learning. Oh, it'll be fine. That dude, I don't know if that dude even broke a sweat in the 90-degree heat. He was barely moving, just right up at the line, just hitting everything back as I'm running every direction. It was wild.
My father-in-law did that in Vegas. Almost exact same story. He's like, yeah, just come out. We'll give it a try. Never played it before. And like over on the next court over are 90-year-olds that don't even seem like they're like, it's 130 degrees out and they're just chilling. They're just like, yeah, just keep bopping it back and forth. I'm like, what is this? I'm winded over here and they're 3 times my age. What the hell?
The thing with these Floridians, though, is that they're on drugs. So, like, does that even count? And in Vegas, they're on drugs.
Yeah, they're just well smoked. That's all.
All right,
so well preserved.
So we're gonna get into our first topic of the night, which is going to be video games versus tabletop games. We have Kenneth the Menace and Jimmy on the side of video games, and we have Matt on the side of tabletop games. We're going to start with Kenny. Go ahead and give me your opening argument on why video games are superior.
Kenny,
not gonna lie, Kenny hasn't moved in a while.
Yeah,
Kenny does look like he froze. Jimmy, we're going to start with you.
All right, I came prepared for this argument. So my reasoning for I don't like playing like games like D&D and board games and stuff, because to me, I want to be immersed in the world of playing the game, and I want to be completely immersed in the actual content of the game. And to me, spending 30 minutes to set up a game, to play it for an hour, to then take it down for another 30 minutes isn't worth it when I could just click, boop, okay, I'm in, and play the game, be immersed in the game, actually visually see the game and be a part of it. And then, when I'm done, I'm done. And to me, as an older gentleman now, I only got so much time to dump into setup, learning the rules, and all this stuff. I'd rather just be off and running the second I have time to go, and then when I'm done, I could just be done. I don't have to clean up. Cleanup's the worst for tabletop games.
All
That's
right.
my argument for it.
Kenny, what about you? Why are video games superior?
Superior to tabletop games. Well, here's one thing. You don't have to worry about missing pieces. That's the one thing right there. That's
man.
number one right there.
Oh my
Unless it's a
God, I didn't
Bethesda
think-
game, in which case you'll have nothing but missing pieces.
Yeah, that's the worst. You go to play a game, you're like, hey man, where's the nope, we ain't got it. I want to be the thimble. Nope, can't be it. Sorry. You're missing the piece.
Hey, who wants to be the thimble first off?
I know, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out.
No one's going
I
first
hate-
round draft pick thimble.
I hate Monopoly. So
Listen, Mayo went first. Don't talk bad about the thimble that way.
yeah, so
Yeah,
like
I
just
guess.
that's just off top. Like the first thing I can think of when it comes to, I guess, video games being better than that. And then you don't have to just like you said, because I came in, you're talking about the cleanup. The cleanup's the worst part. You're like, gotta put this away, especially if it's like there's cards or money involved. You gotta make sure everything's put back in there, organized and everything. That sucks. You don't have to do it with a video game. You just boot up. You just boot up
What
and you're in there.
card game are you playing? 52 pickup?
I play Life. I play Life. That's the one.
Oh
I'm
my
playing. There's a
God,
lot of
Life
cards.
is. Look,
Which
we
is
were
the one of the
playing
smallest pieces.
New Year's Eve. We played a game called oh shoot, what is it called? It's basically Risk in Space, and it was a 14-hour game, and an hour and a half of it was just setting up the board and divvying all the pieces up, and then the last hour and a half after we finished the game was putting everything back into the box. Like, oh gosh.
And another thing too,
Twilight Imperium.
if I want to add more to the game, I can do that. There's DLC out there. You can't do. You got to buy a whole new game if you want to do that for a tabletop game.
There's expansion packs. How is an expansion pack any different than DLC?
You gotta go. You gotta go out there and buy it. You gotta go out there and find it.
That's what Amazon is for.
I can just look right here to be like, whoop.
So can I.
Right there. Whoop, right there. You got to go to the store and do it. You know, you got to do all that. That's awful. Takes 2 seconds to boot my game up. Whatever it is, it's right there. Right there.
It does not take 2 seconds to boot your game up if you have to do an update.
Depends on the
There
update.
for
It depends on the update.
Now we're on depends.
Because you do have a point. It depends on the update.
The card
It's
game.
not, it's not even
so
just
hard
the
to pick up.
update, because I will say that you also have to, even if you buy a game physically now, you still have to download it.
Yeah, that's why I stick to
like
this system right here. There's no updates. You have the game when you buy it. That's all you got.
Old school.
That's all you got. It's just there. You already have the game. It's all set up. No downloads. No nothing.
No, those are beautiful. Those are still some of my absolute favorite games. So like I'm glad you had brought that out, because like those are some of the OGs. Where we're at now with everything with games is just you're like you kind of said, it's you're trying to buy things that first off are stupidly expensive. Not only do I need the console, then I need the controllers, then I need the 4 controllers because I'm going to try to play with my buddies if I'm going to have them come over. But heaven forbid, I actually have people come over to my house and have interactions with people. If I was doing that, I would probably play a table game. I would rather, it sounds like for you two, would rather just sit behind a microphone and be a keyboard warrior or be a bully and yell at people and try to ruin people. Like, that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with people today.
But wait. You
That's
act
a
like
bunch of
people don't do that
bullies.
when they play spades or Uno or something like that. Their people are still mean behind the game or Monopoly.
We talked about Monopoly.
Yeah, but you got to say it to somebody
King
to their
bullying game,
face.
isn't it?
I can still do that. I mean, we still go to each other's houses to play Madden. We still talk mess with each other. Look at you. You're sorry. You're terrible. You're a horrible person.
Joe will attest to this. When we first opened the game store, we actually had a full LAN center in the back. So it was all about, you bring your ass over here. We're all going to sit down and play some Call of Duty. You 5 on that side of the wall, us 5 on this side of the wall. We're going to yell at each other and talk shit across the room. But
right, the LAN parties, that was actually the one thing, like I feel like, especially with video games, the LAN parties were awesome because you got people together and you had interactions with people and did things in between. And your general video game person, you're not doing that. Like your board games are where you actually get to sit with people and interact. And I know it's going to scare out probably every person who's a Gen Z watching this, but I'm at least one of the older millennials, and I still like to hang out with people and talk to them and have those interactions. I like the feel of the card games in my hand or of the pieces. Like there's something different about that just generic piece of it. And I kind of disagree. I think earlier somebody said something about like just the variety that you can get through this. And the same thing with the video games or with just tabletop games. There's so many different things you can play because tabletop is not just necessarily like your monopolies. Like I'm always gonna have a place in my heart for chess because I was the captain of the chess team back in high school.
Loser
With all the ladies. President of the chess club. I played it. And Kenny knows this too, and big into musicals. Like I had everything.
Fuck musicals, cuz.
You were talking about trying to get yourself like immersed into a game or immersed into a game. Unless you're sitting there and you have a complete like 360 surround sound thing in there, it's tough if I'm just sitting here watching a screen. Like I'm just sitting here looking at that and not really getting myself into it. Whereas if I'm actually using my imagination, if I'm actually using my brain, see that one helps.
I might have a little surround sound, but
Hey,
you might because an average person.
Damone said, "What if you lose internet or power? Like on the case, like I guess you're going to be
that's the next thing, right? So
but here's the thing about that though. Is it? It's creepy though to be sitting there playing, go to somebody's house playing checkers in the dark. It's weird.
I'm not going over somebody's house, but it's
definitely played by candlelight.
Yeah, the power goes out. What do? It's candlelight, sitting there playing a game, playing cards, playing something with the family. I'm not going over.
Who doesn't have just a backup generator just to keep their video games running when the power goes out?
Right. Just got to add on to all the costs and everything else with those games.
Okay, so
my wife sometimes likes to use the generator too, but me and the kids play video games with it.
So you're going a different direction with that.
Kenny,
fair.
Kenny, I'm gonna be pissed if you think it's actually weird when the power goes out to play board games because I feel like that is the absolute
in the dark.
Best
that's
time
crazy
to
to
do
me. That is crazy.
If you have candles around and you are playing a card game or a board game, that is the best fucking
read
time.
Kenny's shirt. Kenny ain't got time for no games when the lights go out. He's making cute babies, okay? That's what happens when the lights go out around Kenny.
I was about to say, I got other plans in mind. Y'all talking about lighting candles. If I'm lighting candles, something else is happening. That's all I'm saying. We getting the mood going.
Kenny's afraid of the dark. He's leaving the state.
Afraid of the dark. He's so afraid of the dark.
You when you were at my house, you said we need to be out of here before the
because
sun goes
you
down.
lived in the middle of nowhere. There were werewolves. Like, that's why I was
werewolves.
There was werewolves. There was y'all ever seen the movie Cabin in the Woods? That's where we were at. We were at a cabin in the woods. Every animal, every monster you could think of was in there. That's what I was thinking of. Let's get out.
The tough thing about the cabin is you're not bringing any video games there. You know what's almost assuredly in that cabin? Somewhere in that junk drawer is a deck of cards.
You're gonna make me go pull it out of the closet. My little briefcase with the built-in TV and holds the console inside.
I'm not for somebody who owns a gaming place. I expected nothing else. I am proud of you, sir. Well, I have a gaming I'm talking about the average person. The average person. I don't got that. I don't got time for that. I don't got money for that. I can buy a deck of cards.
Like $60.
It's $60. And board games cost pretty much the same now. Like they're expensive. They're expensive. Go there buy the game.
Imperium's $200.
I was gonna say I tried to get I forget what game was. Was it Monopoly?
Probably.
Whatever board game I was getting, it was $35. And I was like, sheesh. $35 for this? Ridiculous.
Half a controller.
Yeah, if you buy the system for $200, you get the controller with it.
Exactly.
Well, that part helps.
There you go.
And move on to the next thing.
If you buy the table, it doesn't come
and all of a sudden that game is gone.
Yeah, gosh, you need tables and chairs, which is a good game, by the way. Tables and chairs. You remember that game, Joe?
It sounds familiar, but I can't.
The one where you stack the little plastic tables and chairs, and it's basically Jenga. You go back and forth, putting a chair on the stack. And
for some reason, I was thinking of tabletopping people. Like where someone would sit behind them and then you push them over them.
And here's the thing too: I can play your board games on the system. That's the thing too. There's Uno on there, Monopoly's on there. All those games are on there. I can play that too, and usually for free because they always got some deal going on. Because I definitely got the Uno game for like $5.
You know what you don't have to do is smell your opponents or the other people you're playing with across video games.
There's always that fat person that's with us, stinking. They don't got to deal with that. Hey, you play over there in your house.
I'm just, you guys have different friends than I do. I'm not inviting that person over my house for tabletop games.
And then on top of that, like sometimes you don't want to like. Okay, you want to hang out with your friends, but you don't want to go anywhere. They don't want to go anywhere. Perfect. I can be in my drawers playing the game. I ain't gotta get dressed up like, I gotta put pants on to go downstairs. I don't have to do all that.
I don't gotta drive 20 minutes. That's 20 more minutes of gaming.
Right there.
That is true. Not having to travel for it. Okay.
Joe's about to find out soon about how his kid is gonna just annihilate him in every game that they have because they get to just hang out at home all day and play. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, let's play some Call of Duty." And she's gonna be, I can't even keep up with this kid anymore.
And then if it's a new game, you got to sit there and read all this. Oh my gosh! You know, there's always one person who don't know what they're doing. There's somebody out there. They're taking too long in their turn because they doing all this stuff. You ain't got to worry about all that. You're playing the game. You ain't got to worry about all that.
So what's the difference? What's the difference of that in a video game? So I'm going to sit down with a person who's never played a video game before, and they're just gonna, oh, this button does this, this button does this. I don't need a tutorial.
The game's still moving. We play Call of Duty. I'm still shooting people. Hey, look to your right. Use the right stick. This and this. The game's still going. It's fast paced. Board games are usually slower paced too. On top of that, so not only do you have to waste more, like I said, more time traveling, then more time trying to get the game going in the first place. Then you actually got to try to just get we got to try to get it going. Okay, watch me. You guys got to watch somebody play first before you really know what you're doing. You ain't got to do all that. You just hop in. Use the right trigger.
Listen, I get it. So that's the sit down and just put it in my face, right? That's your approach. It doesn't surprise me that's your approach. You just that's what you want there. I'm going to work for it. I'm somebody that likes to make somebody work for it. So no, we're going to sit down for the game. We're going to learn the game. We're going to learn whatever we need for it. And then again, now we're going to have some sort of interaction and actually listen, Monopoly, what the best part of Monopoly isn't just playing the game. It's the negotiation. It's the negotiation of sitting down with somebody and trying to figure out what exactly am I going to trade you.
That's what my daughter says.
I'm here playing. I don't care about y'all negotiating. I want to play. Hurry it up.
That is playing. That's the game.
I'm trying to steal a Monopoly. That's my main goal.
My daughter
you ain't doing that on the video game.
The video game from everybody's eyes around the table. She's like, I just want to see your dreams and hopes just die in your eyes while I take all your money and I win this every time.
I think about that. Euchre. Euchre is one of my favorite games. You're talking about like I can play anything just at home or just online. Yeah, I can play Euchre online, sure, but I ain't stealing the deal from anybody. And that is absolutely one of the key components of Euchre. It's all about trying to get somebody to not pay attention and snipe.
Nobody plays that game anymore.
And you know what you can also do with playing a video game over playing board games? You got the mute button. If you're annoying me, shut your ass.
Who are you hanging out with?
I'm just saying.
Why do you
remember? I own a game store. There's like coming to my game store.
Who hurt you?
A couple that
I do that. I'm just saying. There's more options. I can do more than you can. You got to endure it. Somebody's in your face talking. You're like, damn, I got to hear this mess. I ain't got to do that. Boop, shut your ass. Go ahead and press that button real quick. Nah.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish I could do in the tabletop nights that I run at the shop. There's one guy who screams at somebody just sitting right across from him. I'm like, bro, it's just you two in the store. Why are you yelling at him? How come I can hear you in the bathroom across the building?
Oh, I mute them. Like I said, if we on the game, I'll mute them. Like, what are you talking about?
I could mute him.
Go ahead and mute him. What are you talking about?
I have to go manually mute him. Like, bro, you don't have to scream. And then 25 minutes later, he's screaming again.
Grab him by the lips. Shut your ass up. I told you.
Grabbing someone by the lips
who I'm talking about too. If I
crazy.
I told your ass. You gotta talk to your teeth too. I told your ass. Shut your ass up. That's hilarious. Manually muting.
Go out there, give the manual mute button.
Oof. All right, so I just want to take a quick intermission here just to ask you guys a question. So I just want to know from each of you what your favorite board game is and what your favorite video game is. So Matt, I'll start with you.
Favorite video game is Final Fantasy VII. Favorite board game, man, probably Catan. I'd say I probably put Catan there. And then if I'm just going to one though slightly more traditional, give me like a giant Jenga set. I'll always play Jenga.
Okay, Kenny, what about you?
My favorite board game was gonna be Life for sure. We play that all the time. We play Life, and then but I'm the best at checkers. That's my game. One on one, we going checkers. I'm getting that dub. And then favorite video game, that's hard for real. Let's just go Crazy Taxi. I have that on so many systems. Yeah, I had it on every system, so I might as well say that. He said WWE 2K24. Yep, it's up there.
WWE 2K24 is one of mine for sure. Jimmy, what do
I
you
recommended that many
582
times.
hours is what I have.
And 3 recommendations.
Board games.
Wait, that's for that. That was for that one system. That one system.
Might as
I'm
well
not a
been.
huge board
The
gamer.
super
Again,
console.
I have to be able to outdo the number. The amount of time I spend setting up has to be outdone by the amount of time I'm playing the game. So Twilight Imperium is probably right up there with like one of my favorite games. It's literally just like space Risk, but instead of just being a color, everybody has a race and they all do certain things. Pretty good. Traditional game. My wife and I love Stratego. I hose her all the time in Stratego.
I don't know if I've ever played Stratego.
I love
I always
it.
see it, but I
So
don't think
good.
I've ever played it.
It's just basically hide and seek with a bomb. It's great. And video game, I haven't played a ton of video games in a long time, but my last favorite video game that I'm super heavy on is The Last of Us. The first Last of Us was so good. I could not set it down. I had to play through from start to finish. And if it's not The Last of Us, because you're kind of locked into the story, and I guess some people might like this now that Fallout's back out, but Fallout New Vegas is probably by far my favorite, like most amount of time invested playing in a game. I killed an Xbox and then replayed it back through again. So I have like 70, 80 hours straight in just New Vegas, just exploring and doing fun, dumb shit.
And for
How about
me,
80
I'd
hours,
probably
how about 80 hours in, but then you complain about the 17-hour board game.
I didn't have to set any of that up though.
Mine video game. I'm going World of Warcraft. It's hard for me to ever break away from that being my favorite video game.
Oh, gosh.
But I think it's just because I've been playing it for like 20 years. So it's like, how do you not?
Have you been playing it or has it been playing you?
Both. It's been playing my bank account too. And then the favorite board game, I'm going Monopoly. I shit you not, I probably have 30 Monopoly boards.
It's impressive.
Like one of everything. I feel
Which
like
one's your favorite? If you're playing tonight, which one you picking out?
If I had to pick one, probably my Yu-Gi-Oh one.
Oh, weak.
I do have the Dragon Ball Z one though. I got a Game of Thrones one where you press the throne and it plays the theme song every time you pass go.
That box right there is
Another
Dragon Ball Z.
Another thing I got for you, Joe. I got another point for you. Because I was talking about the different versions. You got to go out there like some DLC. I could just buy a season pass, and especially some games, like I said, it's free. So whenever something comes out, we got the new ones. That's a one-time payment. Pay $30 one time, and I can get
season pass.
That
Season pass, doesn't that happen every season? Then don't you have to renew every season every year?
But don't you get bored of playing Catan?
Sometimes they don't do that.
Like after one
Sometimes
play.
they don't do that.
Oh, I got to play a different version of Catan. This one's getting pretty lame.
That's what I'm saying. You got to buy 20 different Monopolies. All I got to do is just buy the one season pass, and I got 30 different Monopolies.
Hey, you've bought 20 different Maddens. Tell me you haven't.
If you wait 4 years, they're all 50 cents.
And that part too. Like I say, if you got the Xbox version, like he was talking about, because don't you get it for free, Joe?
If you got Game Pass, yeah.
Joe,
that's what I'm saying. We're talking about them passes, right? We're talking about them season passes.
I don't even play Xbox, but did you get it? Did you get it?
No, I have not bought a physical copy yet. No.
Yeah, I only bought the physical copy. I don't even have a system, but
I wait for
stand. So
I wait for them to drop down for a couple dollars.
Oh man.
I've gotten all the cover athlete games that I've wanted, brand new, sealed for like $3 a piece, just because it's a sports game. So you just wait a few years and then people think it's irrelevant. Like in Buffalo, it's probably gonna be hard to find that brand new. But if you order it online, GameStop's gonna be selling it online in fucking Florida. They're not gonna be wanting copies of Josh Allen sitting there.
I don't even know what you're talking about. This like going out to a store. Kenny already talked about. You don't go out to stores to buy video games anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
It's only tabletop games.
That's why I bought the hard copy. I was like, this isn't even exist in hard copy outside of pre-orders. So fuck it.
You got like 2 more years until hard copies just don't exist. Period anymore.
No, it's actually like 2 more months.
Yeah, it's way less of that.
Because I think Walmart's in the process of getting rid of all of them. Best Buy, last time I was there, got rid of all of them already. I don't know if they finished that yet. Have you been in the McKinley Mall recently, Jimmy?
No,
I have.
The Best Buy there.
Is it even a mall anymore? I think it's just like an old people playground, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of walkers, but yeah, they last time I was there, they had like no physical movies or games. They were like removing the shelves.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So for the debate, do you guys have any closing arguments on it?
Yeah, Joe, I think just for you, the other thing I wanted to ask is I forgot to mention it. One of my other favorite tabletop games is Magic the Gathering. That was like my initial card game.
So
I still love that one. But so Joe, I'm sure you can get the appreciation of when you get to open up a brand new deck of cards, when you know that you've bought that pair and you're going through everything. What is that compared to when you're playing MLB The Show and you get to open up a pack and just hit next button and see what pops up? Which one is honestly more satisfying?
Packs in those shitty ass games. I'll be honest with you. Hold on. But what about in Counter-Strike when you open a case and you get like a $2,000 knife? Like,
I'd have to play Counter-Strike for that though.
But if you open a $2,000 knife that you can immediately sell right there on the spot, I think that feels a lot better than it feels like you're actually opening something physical.
Listen, when I opened a 98 overall Roman Reigns on Madden,
I was there for that. He was hyped.
I was hyped. I was hyped.
But you opened up a Roman Reigns on Madden?
Yes, they dropped him. They dropped him.
Oh my
I didn't know that was a thing.
Look,
he was pretty big in college football, apparently.
Yeah, he was cold, I guess. I don't really watch college football like that. But the pack had him, Carl Weathers, which is Apollo Creed from Rocky. They had what's his name? Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds was in there as well. And Ed O'Neill, if you know him from Married with Children, the dad. And somebody else I'm missing. But yeah, I love that. You said who?
Al Bundy?
Al Bundy. I cannot think his name. Yeah, Al Bundy. But it was lit. I got all of them. It was nice. But I got the 98 Roman Reigns. Life was complete.
Yeah, we were on vacation and Kenny's like, I gotta get these packs really quick because I gotta try to get that Roman Reigns. And I was like, you're playing Madden right now. And then he opened it and he's like, I got Roman Reigns.
He did the same thing Matt did. He's like, did you just say Roman Reigns?
He did. He was like, he thought I was saying some goofy. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get Roman Reigns.
He must have said wrong.
I spoke it into existence. I got the 98 Roman Reigns. Life was complete.
You opening that card is what helped Cody finish the story.
Yep, that's what I needed. That's what
you captured his soul.
All right, and then the last thing, the last thing I just want to point out, and I get it. I get it probably from Jimmy. I'm surprised in Kenny in this spot, but y'all are a bunch of racists. Like any person who has any type of disability, like if you're missing hands, you can't hear, you can't see.
You better
how great are they really going to be at those video games? How great are they really going to be?
Blow straws on the little
what's that got to do with being racist?
It must be real nice to think that you're better than all those. Just because you're saying
no. Modern Warfare 2 was full of racist. I will say that.
No, definitely.
I'm definitely.
I got called the N-word on UFC because I beat him. I didn't cheat. I just knocked him out. That's the point.
So these people that are supporting video games are against people with disabilities, are obviously racists, and just have all this money come out of the street. All the money to buy all the things that they want. You guys are be ashamed of yourselves.
The thing is, though, I've seen modded controllers. I saw a guy with a nub for a hand, and he was going crazy. He was going crazy on this game.
The new controllers for disabled people are actually pretty fucking impressive.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they got stuff for them, too.
Look, Stephen Hawking was the original controller. Come on.
He put his chin on the thing. He's a bitch auto.
Yeah,
and look, here's cruising with his controller. Can you kill a hooker and stomp her out and take the money that you that you used on her on life?
People might not
see, and that's the one other point. See, it's ruining kids. There are so many studies out there about how video games are ruining children. That's what's wrong with America. Nobody's saying that about Monopoly.
People in video games, I turn out okay.
Life.
Marilyn Manson and Eminem ruined my childhood.
Yes or no? Did Marilyn Manson really remove his rib, suck his dick?
Probably. I mean,
you know what? Board games and card games ruined my life. They ruined my life. Black people always get mad because I don't know how to play what you call it?
Euchre.
Spades. I don't know how to play spades.
Sorry, Euchre's the other one.
I get cussed out every time. Like, no one ever taught me how to play spades, but I get cussed out for it. So they're just as evil in there too.
Okay.
They won't even let him participate in the cookout because of it. Like that motherfucker doesn't know how to play
Participate in the
spades.
cookout.
Get out of here.
All right.
I feel you. I feel you.
So
I never heard of it called participate in the cookout.
Like, nah, that man's mac and cheese is trash. He doesn't know how to play spades. He ain't invited. Get him out of here. No wonder he's at home playing video games. He never gets invited.
Not allowed. That's hilarious.
all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass my judgment. But before I do that, couple things. We are now doing weekly viewer verdicts. So for that, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you can vote on the show. I'll be posting it the morning of our live show and be letting you know of the results on that. So video game, surprise landslide.
Viewer
Yeah.
verdicts.
It was 11-2 with the viewer verdicts on that. And then instead of playing the organic loving ad, I'm just gonna promote our own shit because I don't think you guys are buying enough dildos. So with that being said, 20% off.
That's very
What?
judgmental.
Yeah. So
Oh wait. We didn't do the faces during it anymore.
Oh shit.
you can still do the do the faces still while I'm doing this.
Hold
For
on.
those of you that don't know, we are doing very sexual stuff when the organic loving ad is playing. So 20% off all of our merch coming up here soon on May 3rd until May 7th. You guys are so distracting. May 3rd to May 7th, 20% off everything. So go ahead and get that merch cheaper than you normally could.
But Joe, my daughter told me anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
Jesus.
That is crazy. That is insane.
Oh my God.
She's 21. She's 20 or almost 21.
You threw me off track there. All right. And then
Well,
next week we have Ozix on. He's been on the show before. He's a DJ. And for that, we are doing for the debate, would you rather be able to speak every language or would you rather be able to speak with animals? You cannot speak English if you can speak with animals. I don't have a confirmation on the tournament or draft yet, though, because I accidentally scheduled one that was already booked. So we got to wait for that.
Speak English anyway already.
I will not be here. I will not be here next week.
You will not be here next week either.
Magical place on Earth next Tuesday.
Yep, magical. All right. So now,
no, Joe, it's English for both. You can't speak English for either one. That's you forgot.
Oh, you can't speak English for either one.
Can't speak English for either one. You either got to speak every language but English, or you can only speak to animals.
Oh, I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that tosses a wrench into it a little bit.
That escalates things a bit.
So for my verdict now, this is a tough one because opening packs that feels good. Being able to play during the internet power outage, interacting with friends in person. The updates on video games is a big one. But I think really what got me here was being able to kill hookers for money.
Breaking out the judge gun. Hold on.
What to say? Then, you get what you need, take them out. You don't gotta feel bad. There's no guilt because it's not real.
Yeah, the video games, there's a lot to it. And I think really the biggest argument there is that the majority of board games, tabletop games, you can just play on a console. So personally, I'd prefer to play a tabletop game, but video games are superior. All right. So
weak.
Yes, your argument was. All right. So next up, we're going to be doing our tournament.
It was low hanging fruit for us, honestly.
It was. I mean, even the viewers said so. So next up, we're doing our tournament, and we are doing a tournament of the saddest moments to happen on television,
or movies.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yes,
you said
movies as well.
I was about to say that messes
Which
up.
Actually, that made this pretty big because it's hard. I feel like to really find a good TV series, one that
I had the
that's gonna trump a lot of these ones for movies. Actually, so
there's a few.
I know it's gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy, but I have a clarifying question first, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So are we talking like when I talk about like the saddest moment? Are we saying like does this have to stand up against the test of time, or are we talking about like when it happened? I'll give one example quick for me. I'm gonna go with Jon Snow's death in Game of Thrones,
fuck
right? End of
you.
season
You can't
6.
take that one from me.
Well, listen, but I'm just trying to say I want to understand the story.
Literally on my
so
list.
if I go back and watch it now, it's not as sad because I know everything that happened. But if you would have put me in the time between season 6 and season 7, that had to be awful for anybody watching that. But so that's what I mean. Like, are we talking in that moment, the first time you see it, or is it stands the test of time if I'm rewatching it now?
I think it should just be it's sad. I mean, just because you got to go because something else,
and how sad it is. Also, I really appreciate the fact that I know Kenny is not to that part yet, and you just said that.
I mean, look, it is what it is. I'm late. I'm late, so it is. What it is.
I'm about to ruin a lot of things for Kenny. I have a feeling.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it is what it is. But hey, someone said G Baby on the list. It was on mine.
Shut up! It's on my list too, and I don't have many.
Another one. I got
all right.
G Baby was what that came to mind for me.
Would you prefer if I guys? So I get 1 pick. You guys each get 5 each. Would you prefer that I just throw mine in first, or
go ahead? Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna put from the never-ending story when the horse was drowning.
Speaking of low-hanging fruit, Jesus,
right. That was sad as fuck.
Wasn't even memorable. I watched that as a kid, and I don't even remember that.
You're disrespectful.
Very much.
Jimmy goes first because he is the guest. So,
well, now I have to rethink which one I want to put on here because I'm afraid some of these things are gonna get poached really quick. I'm gonna say Glenn dying in The Walking Dead.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I had that initially.
Death of Glenn, not the like 5 teased ones.
Yeah,
I had that one initially, but I crossed it off because I didn't want to put multiples on my list from the same show. And I have one I think was better than that one from that one.
It's gonna be the
my dog for some reason, he like his eyes, the way that he like looks sometimes, I have to call him Glenn, and my wife gets so mad just because he like the way that he looks, it looks like they're popping out.
Oh no, get out of here, D Money.
Get out. Stop posting these comments.
Like I have a list. I wrote down.
All right, Kenny, what's yours?
All right. I'm going with Mufasa.
Okay.
Mufasa, you gotta think about how sad that is, man. Like his son really watching his dad die, and not only did he see his dad die, it was his brother, his own brother. He said, "Brother, help me." He was just like, "Long live the king," the most hating shit ever, and tossed him.
Yeah,
gotta put Mufasa on that list.
I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely watching. I watched all of these just to make sure they was as sad as I remember, and I was definitely bawling my eyes out before I got on the call with Joe. I'm like, all right, I gotta clean these eyes up because I'm crying like a little bitch over here watching these all back.
Yeah,
wait, you just went to like YouTube or something and just watched?
Yeah, I watched every single one of these things. I
am not doing that.
No, I did that. I did
was
that.
One of them that was on
like
there too. The Never-Ending Story was there too.
I imagine him watching it. He was like, "Not so bad. It's not so bad." Crying.
Yep. All right, Matt, what's yours?
I'm surprised Kenny didn't take it. I was gonna be real mad at Damone when I saw him next, but I'm definitely taking the dog's death in I Am Legend. That for as much as we always talk about Will Smith and how good that movie is, that one should have been the first one to go.
No, I figured that was going to be taken, and I thought Neverending Story was a stretch, so that's why I went there.
Well, that's actually when you said you wanted the first pick. Then I got more upset because I figured you were going to take it. I can't believe that got to me that fourth one.
Mufasa is a movie that's coming out soon.
Yeah, it's the prequel.
Yeah.
Sorry if I spoiled the ending to you for you, but he died.
Oh no! Spoiler alert!
Somebody that we went to go see Straight Outta Compton. We went to go see that, and they were like, and we said something about Eazy-E dying. They was like, "Bro, don't spoil it." We're like, "What? Get out of here!"
Hey, no,
there might have been a different ending. Who knows?
Hey, true story. And I cannot even believe that this happened to myself personally. I was watching that American Crimes TV show where they have like the Versace and then the OJ Simpson's one and stuff. Yeah. I was watching the OJ Simpson one, and when he got off not guilty, that blew my fucking mind because I thought that he was guilty. Like I thought that he was still currently in jail for it this whole time. So when I was watching the show and they said not guilty, I was like, what the fuck? So I went and Googled it, and I was like, oh, no shit. Like, I don't even know. Like, for that being so huge, and especially being from Buffalo, I cannot fucking believe that I did not know the ending to that.
If the
I'm pretty sure
glove
every
don't
person
fit,
who's
you
listening
must acquit.
agrees. Everybody listening cannot believe that you didn't know that either.
It blew my mind when that happened. I was like, holy shit.
I'm old enough to have lived through that, actually.
Yep, well, I'm here too.
I
Joe, were
I
you
did
alive
not
for that?
No,
I
he
was
was
not.
not. He was not. He was still staying on the sheets.
No.
Damn.
Sorry, I'm not balding yet. Jimmy, what's your next pick?
I'm not balding either. I am bald. We're trying to get there.
I'm just gray. But I'm gonna go with I need D Money to get out of my brain because literally just ripping
100%.
stuff right off of my
100%.
page here. But I'm gonna go with the Will Smith "Why don't he want me" moment with his dad. That I still can't watch that. Like even just watching the start of it, I start crying and getting watery eyed because I already know how it ends, and it breaks my heart. So I'm there.
To hell with him.
Still can't
You can't see
me
it
right
on my
now.
list. You can't see it on my list, but I had the walking into the empty room. But again, I said, nope, I can't take this because this was my sad moment from that show.
That was sadder for sure.
All right, Kenny.
Ugh.
He can't see without his glasses. We're gonna go with that scene right there.
Good one too.
He can't see without his glasses. I forget the movie's called, but the bee sting.
My girl. My girl.
Oh,
yeah.
I weirdly was just referencing that movie a couple days ago. That exact scene too. I didn't think it was that sad. No.
I mean, it wasn't for me, but I'm going for the.
That shit wasn't sad. It was funny.
It wasn't funny, but like that dumb
Actually,
bitch. just
honestly,
left
where that one gets it for me, because I had that one on my list too, is because it's a child that like doesn't understand. Like when you put that like into that context, that's almost where it becomes more gut wrenching because you're not expecting a person like an adult to do that. When you see a kid do it, you're really like understanding like they don't get it. Like they don't
get
it's
their
not
concept
clicking
of
yet.
death yet, but she's like,
we
you
all
can't
learned.
see without his glasses.
We all
Right.
learned pretty early that we would die chasing pussy, and that's he just didn't make it to the part where he learned past that. Like some of us don't.
All right, Matt.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna make this pick for the crowd. I'm on record on here before saying I don't think this is sad, but everybody else does, so I guess I have to put Up into this tournament.
I still haven't watched that movie.
Yeah, it's literally the first 30 seconds. Like that's a part of
I haven't
Look,
seen
you did just
either.
remind me of another one.
All right, Jimmy.
All right, I'm gonna go with. Obviously, I'm a big Last of Us guy. It got me in the video game. I'm just sitting on the couch playing a video game and bawling my eyes out. My wife's like, "What the fuck is wrong?" And then I dreaded it for so long watching the show. But The Last of Us, when Sarah dies at the start, like that, I was like, this is probably not gonna get a big pick because you have to have a kid in order to know what that feels like. And
Yeah.
but I feel like anybody who has a kid can feel that pain and it's watering me up right now. But yeah, that's my pick.
I played the game before I had a kid, and when I watched the show after having a kid, it definitely hit different.
It's so
I fucking hate seeing stuff where like kids are dying in movies and stuff now. Like kidnapping, all that shit it really bothers me.
Yep. It's a
I'd turn into Liam Neeson so fast. All right, Kenny.
Nissan?
Yep, Nissan.
Yeah, it's the car.
Yeah, I heard it. I was gonna let it rock. Chucky not having a parent to dance with in Rugrats. I think it was Paris. Rugrats on Paris. As a kid, man, that hurt you. That hurt you. Like, damn. Like, I had my parents, and I was like, this is so sad.
All right, Matt.
All right, so I teased it a little bit. I'm gonna go back to Walking Dead, but I think the most shocking one and like the Glenn one, this is why I almost didn't put it there, was because you were expecting it, right? Sometimes when you're expecting it, it's not quite as sad as more. I just want to see it. So the thing that came out of nowhere, and actually, just real quick with this, my wife and I were talking about this before too, and she said when Rick's wife died, and how like she thought that was the emotional one. I still felt like that was coming, so like it didn't bother me so much. The one that came out of nowhere was Look at the Flowers, Lizzie. That one, I was not expecting that whatsoever. When Carol sets her up in there and then shoots the little girl, especially since it's a younger girl, but you understand why she had to do it, but the fact that it happened just so off guard, and it was powerful.
Yeah, I was there with that one too. That was also on there. I was like, I don't know which one's worse. That one was pretty bad. It was one of those things, but like you knew. I don't know. I take a lot of empathy out of it when they deserve to die, as opposed to like, you know, Glenn just being the best Glenn he can and then having one on the way and just.
Yeah, some of us don't read, Robert, so I didn't know what was coming from the.
I knew it was coming too, and it was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough because, like, I mean, even though you know it was coming, like the suspense that built up to it was so intense on TV, especially with the way that they like ended the episode and everything. And then they dropped a fucking VR game where you would sit on your knees and Negan would walk around and then it would hit you in the head. I could not believe that shit.
The fact that they fake killed Glenn like 5 times, and like we all knew he was gonna die to the bat, and then in the show they just kept like almost killing him off, like when he was under the dumpster and we thought he was just dead. It was like, oh, they're just going to veer away from the thing. And then all of a sudden that moment came and you're like, oh no, I'm not ready. No. They're going to do something different. Yep. Was not ready for that.
And I mean, they totally could have changed it too. There's so much in the TV show that's completely different. I'm actually rereading the Walking Dead comics right now, and it's so different. I mean, there's so many huge characters in the show that don't even exist in the books.
Yeah.
All right. Jimmy, you're up next.
All right. This one actually just came to me. The Encanto. I don't know what it was about that movie, but everything in that movie got me. Like, it just ripped and tore. And maybe it's because I'm a dad of girls, and like every single kid in that movie or every single person in that movie is like somebody I can relate to in my personal life as one of my kids. And just every single one of their struggles, and then just having the house falling down at the end. Like, I think that was the breaking moment where I just could not stop sobbing uncontrollably. I was like, this is terrible. This like, I want them all to be magical because they're all magical. And then and then it brought me back when everything comes back together. But if anybody hasn't seen that movie, I was forced to watch it, and then I haven't been able to stop watching it because it's so fucking good.
So I have not seen the movie, but I'll tell you right now that there's a song on there that I listen to daily.
Ooh, which one?
I'm pulling it up right now because it's fucking so addicting. We went to Disney on Ice, and I was like, "This shit fucking hits."
Yeah, that whole soundtrack is.
Don't play it.
Surface Pressure.
Good. That's with Louisa. Yeah, that's like one of my favorites. I funny enough, I have all of the Funko Pops just sitting here with my kids.
Yeah, oh my god, that song is so good. I heard it and I was like, this shit is so good. I didn't even know it was a Disney song the first time I heard it. I thought that it was like a song from like the radio that I heard or something, but it must have just been my daughter listening to it.
Did you watch the music video?
Or no, I have not seen anything on the movie.
One night when you need a good cry, go watch it.
Yeah, Damone took mine. I was just about to say that one too.
All right.
So yeah, for me, Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Oh, Toy Story
3, man. I was in theaters, grown man, like, don't you dare kill these toys. I will cry in this theater. Don't you dare to kill these toys. It was just so ruthless. He was just like, salute.
Like, all right. So wait, so what scene are you talking about?
I'm talking about them being lowered. And now you seen that fire coming up. And the toys were all holding hands. They accepted death. They literally accepted death in Toy Story 3. They were all holding hands. And they were just like, look, it's been a wild ride, guys. This is how we're gonna go out. So we're gonna go out. I said, oh no, y'all better not.
I know. All right, I'll give you a little bit of that. I guess that one just more had me at the seat of my pants because I just didn't think that part was going to happen. I had Toy Story 3 on my list just more for the ending, but I also was like, I was wavering on it because that one was more like happy tears. Like that was just like an emotional.
Oh no, this
piece. That's why I just want to make sure. I want to make sure what you were talking about.
Was that?
I know that's
sad.
Well, that's what I make sure. I make sure you're not drafting a stick. Like you think that you're gonna have magic powers with a stick or something.
Was that the pink bear Toy Story? The one where like the pink bear and in the
Yeah,
preschool.
Toy Story 3, like I said, him
Yeah.
lowering it, trying to kill the other toys, and they just looking
my
at each other like, yeah. And the Mist was on my list, but that scene wasn't sad, but it was just like, dang, that's crazy. Like,
That I read The Mist like 2 days before I watched The Mist.
the ending is totally different.
Yeah, well, I was expecting the movie just to end out of nowhere, like how the book does for some reason. And honestly, like I couldn't believe that there was an ending that was more twisted than Stephen King's book himself. Because like normally Stephen King's endings are like perfect, but I was like, man, this book kind of ended out of nowhere. The movie, holy fuck,
The
that
ending
shit
is
came out of
usually
nowhere.
different on Stephen King movies.
I don't remember. I remember watching the movie. I don't remember the
The
ending.
Mist is when they had, spoiler guys, that was the one when they where they're sitting in the car and they're just the monsters everywhere, and he's just looking. He's got the gun. I think he's got 4 bullets. There's 4 of them in the car. He's just like, and they kind of get you that look, and then he just shoots everybody in the car. And no, my fault. It's 5 of them, 4 bullets. So he kills everybody in the car, and he gets out the car ready to be eaten by the monsters. But then the army comes in and wipes away the monsters already. And he did literally, if he waited like 30 more seconds, he would have been straight.
Yeah, it was literally like 30 seconds. So he killed his entire family and didn't have to.
Yeah, family, old people that was with them, like they were just the old lady was looking in the back, like, all right, like she's just looking like, okay, that's how we gonna go.
You know you can find a bullet now.
Yeah, it just ends with him screaming like, ah!
Wasn't it a remake? Wasn't there another like The Mist? Wasn't there another Mist?
You're thinking of
because I was thinking of the fog and like the thing.
Well, the fog had a remake.
Maybe it was the fog.
But if you're thinking of Stephen King, you know, he's remade The Stand, he's remade It, he's remade. There's another movie too he remade. That was really good.
Pet Sematary.
Pet Cemetery.
Oh,
I like the reboot better than the original for that one.
All right, Matt, what's your next pick?
It got brought up really early in this, and I can't believe it got this far. But I will take G Baby from Hardball.
G-Baby.
It wasn't on my list, but as soon as he said it, it put a
it was
my heartstrings. I remember that one. I was like, ugh.
Candy, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was gonna be like one of your top 2 picks.
Yeah, that was up there. That was one of my picks, but I had some other ones. I was like, I gotta get out there.
All right, Jimmy, last pick.
Geez, I've got 2 on my list right now that I haven't hit, and it's the 2 biggest tearjerker movies like ever: P.S. I Love You and The Notebook. I think the P.S. I Love You hit me harder though, when Jerry dies and they don't really like tell you that he's dead, and you kind of just find out through the scene of Hilary Swank just sitting there, just like moping, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? What is and then you read that like that whole movie is a fucking tearjerker. But yeah, I think that got me more than The Notebook at the end there. So.
All right.
In that theme of thing, I'm not taking my last pick, which is in my that same realm of theme. I went with A Walk to Remember. That's the one that made my list because I like that one a little bit more for the chick flick type that was gonna make me cry the whole time.
Hey, Charlie St. Cloud's the one that got me.
Yeah, it's TV shows and movies.
Kenny.
I got 2 I'm stuck between. I'll let y'all decide. 1 or 2.
1.
All right.
1.
So it's Spider-Man dying in Infinity War.
I don't feel so good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel good. I said, I was in theaters like, oh, you better not do it. I was like, you better not do it. He's just a child.
I feel like they ruined that moment, but like he should have been the first one to die, and then like you not realize what's happening. But like once everybody else,
it was. I think his was perfect because I heard that, I guess it was the Spidey sense. That was the reason why he knew he was dying. I guess that's why his lasted longer. Is what I heard. But I don't know, just him, just like, oh, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I was like, oh my god, if that scene had lasted 10 more seconds, I would have ugly cried in that theater. If they had just dragged it out for 10 more seconds, I would have been. I had that little frog in my throat.
At the point where I haven't followed. I just finally recently watched all the Spider-Mans, but I haven't followed any of the Spider-Man, so I wasn't as emotionally attached to that Spider-Man as I was. Like, I guess the other 2 weren't really worth being emotionally attached to either, but. I guess I just didn't have any emotional attachment to this Spider-Man, so it didn't really hit me as hard.
My other one, I don't think he's going to choose that one. My other one was going to be Sonny getting killed in Godfather, because that scene pissed me off as a kid. Now, like, it pisses me off when he
I was
died.
talking to a few customers earlier, and multiple people brought that one up, and I've never seen Godfather, so
Oh man,
I just watched that not too long ago for the first
yeah, that
time.
one hasn't gotten me.
y'all gotta
All
watch
right,
that.
Matt.
That's a good movie.
Final pick.
I'm looking at a couple of them that I have on here of like legit made me cry. I know I'm not going to put the ending of Les Miserables in here because I know Kenny's going to have no clue what that even is, so that's just a wasted pick.
That was the happiest ending because it was over.
Fuck the
God,
musicals.
that show was so long.
It's hard for me to not put like a Life is Beautiful on here or even Click, because we've talked so much about Click in the past, like that, because that one just came out of
Click was
nowhere and
last
got
week.
me. Well, I know we talked about Click just in general.
Yeah,
So-
we talked about Click a couple times though. We have to.
but I'm gonna go to a personal one for me. Just it would be the season finale, like the last moments of Boy Meets World. When you watch the entire culmination of that whole series, and they are just begging Feeney to say that he loves them, and he won't say it. And the last thing then after they leave the room is for him saying, "I love you all," and walk out. That is just the tears. It is the perfect ending to a series. There is nothing else that closes out anywhere to an emotional level like what that one does.
We're gonna have to
Another
restart our
shot.
fucking. We're gonna have to restart our counter now. We went 6 months without any Boy Meets World talk on this fucking podcast.
Oh shit! Can I give an
Wow.
honorable mention in that same vein? Matt's onto something. Have any of you guys watched or care about NCIS at all? Like, or
No.
watched through? There's
I-
like 22 fucking seasons of the original one. Ducky.
My wife watches it all the time.
Ducky, the actor that played Ducky, passed away, and in the most recent season that I've been catching up on, they do a full dedication episode to him, and I swear to God, it was 45 minutes straight of me just ugly crying at the desk, like just feeling it, and that didn't make my list because I don't think it has enough like wide range, but God, it was so good. It was, the tributes were perfect, same vein as the Feeney ones. Like the tributes were perfect. It was great, and they were commemorating the fact that he passed away in real life, and they had him die in the show as well, and then they like commemorated. It was really good.
So I will say multiple people in the chat have said Opie from Sons of Anarchy, and that's probably one of my biggest ones. And then Marshall's dad dying in How I Met Your Mother was a pretty big one too, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
I was trying to get away from people dying in a lot of mine because I feel like that was almost all what a lot of these were always going to go to. Where it's always emotional when somebody dies. But so if you can give me something that draws emotion where somebody doesn't die, that one got brownie points for me.
Yeah, but most of those are like happy tears.
There's one scene, but I figured you guys didn't know it. But there's one scene that's really sad in The Shield that I was going to put in there. There was a rapist, and when he after he got on raping you, he puts it's like a tattoo he puts underneath your eye, and literally like they go through a whole episode, and the little girl she tells the police on the guy, and literally you see her the very next scene at the end of the episode, and she has that tattoo in her eye. I was like, oh no, and she's like 6 years old. You're like, no.
Hate seeing anything happen.
You're like,
to
kill
kids.
him, kill him, because it's like this dirty cops. But you're like, kill him, take him out. So you're cheering for these dirty cops. But yeah, that scene was up there for me. So yeah.
I didn't know you were gonna shuffle it.
Oh yeah, I'm shuffling it.
I was like, oh man, you could get some strategy going, try to pick against some of these like meh ones.
All right. So before we get started, as always, because I'm not voting, I get one veto. I cannot use it on the finals or the semifinals, though. So it has to be either in the first or the second round. So
how does the veto work? You get to veto and the other option goes through?
Yes, as long as it's not a 3-0 sweep. If you guys all vote something, I can't veto it. But if it's a 2-1, I can veto. All right. So starting off with the toys dying in Toy Story 3 and Will Smith. Why don't he want me?
This is a good matchup right here.
Jimmy, we'll start with you.
I'm going with Will Smith. I don't remember any of that from Toy Story 3, so most of my barometer has been if I can't remember it from a scene, it didn't hit me hard enough, and I'm okay with dying on that hill if I have to.
All right,
it's funny. That's the only scene I remember. Yeah, that's I'm going Toy Story. That was sad, man. And I was like, I mean, it's sad what Will Smith went through, but that one was really sad.
All right, Matt.
First, I need somebody to stop highlighting Robert Taylor's comments about the Bills losing. But I'm not gonna lie, I actually had the Four Falls of Buffalo on my list, but I decided I wasn't gonna try to play that card.
I saw somebody with a license plate of that today. It was like 4X loser, and it was the.
Oh my God, that is intense.
Way! On a red truck. I was like, motherfucker.
It was actually on a car, Joe, not intense. I'll definitely take Will Smith there.
All right.
I'm not mad at it. It lost to a good one. I'm not mad at it.
Well, I was already thinking the other scene.
God, these are going to be so hard to decide
These ones are really tough.
The Dog's Death and I Am Legend and G Baby and Hardball.
Oh man,
Matt, we'll start with you.
I would say they're both my picks, so I feel like we should start there. I guess I expected the I Am Legend one to go first overall. That's the first thing that comes to mind to me, so I'm taking that one here.
Kenny.
Damn. A dog death or a kid death? That's insane.
Yeah. I have a good reason for why I'm picking what I'm picking.
Okay. I'm going with I Am Legend. I'm going with the dog death. I'm going with the dog death. His was, I mean, he was not saying the other kid wasn't useful, but he was useful. Like he was, he needed him to survive. Like he was helping him. Like he was helping him a lot. And then when he died, it was like, damn. And then the way because they didn't show the
way that he died too. I fast forward through that scene every single time. I cannot watch
it. Face. Because Will Smith's such a good actor. That it was Will Smith versus Will Smith next round. But he's just
it's this. He's like.
It's tough watching a grown man cry, man. It's tough.
Will Smith versus Will
Especially
Smith.
Watching Will Smith. Hey, Will Smith's on here twice.
Will Smith versus Will Smith. I'm not mad at it. It's my GOAT.
Oh, no shit. It is going to be Will Smith versus Will Smith. That's crazy.
So I would have went with Hardball because in my screwed up like shit logic is G-Baby was getting to the point where he was about to start living the best of his life, and the dog was living in a shit apocalypse. So like putting the dog out of its misery is fine by me. But like one is the dog is getting put out of misery, and G-Baby was about to like take off and do things, and he was just getting out of it.
It was like you saw the dog start to turn, and he had to take him out. G-Baby, you didn't even know he got hit. It was just like we made it, G-Baby, we made it. He was just laid up.
Like, oh god, yeah, that was terrible.
All right,
then both were good, but yeah.
Sarah's death from The Last of Us and Chucky not having his parents at the dance. Kenny, start with you.
All right, hear me out.
There's no way. There's no way.
Chucky not having his mom at the thing. As a kid, that did something to you. Like, I mean, that's sad. You know, like, you know, Sarah dying was sad. That was sad. Because, you know, Joe, you make fun of me all the time for playing the tutorials. I saw that. I saw that part.
I'm glad you at least got there.
I was able to see that. But yeah, it was Chucky back in the day, man. That definitely messed us up as kids. He didn't have a mom to dance with. It was the mom son dance. He had nobody to dance with. He had to sit there and watch everybody else. It was sad.
All right, Jimmy.
I do agree. It was sad. I still to this day I could not imagine running out with any of my kids and just having that happen and like just being so senseless. Like I know it's a game, but it was just so fucking senseless. But I've been in the position of the soldier where I've been told to do something that I was just ridiculous, and like I can feel it from both ends, and just like at some point you have to you got it. I got to take Sarah's death. I can't have a little girl dying on my conscience.
He said a damn cartoon better not win this bracket. That's hilarious.
All right, Matt.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen The Last of Us, so I don't know what that one even is. And then just because I saw Tom talking about a cartoon better not win this bracket, I might not win this bracket, but I'm at least gonna try to see if I can get it to win this round or make the judge use his veto. So
no, I'm using my veto. There's no fucking way.
I knew he was.
There's
That's
no
how
way
you know
you,
we're supposed to win.
you
It was
pulled
supposed
the
to
veto
win.
out early, but like there's no fucking way that's dying in the first round.
Me
No
just
pun
setting
intended.
this up
Oh.
earlier in the bracket when I put it on the bracket. Yeah, I'm like, just being a dad, you feel different. He's like, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
All right. Then we got P.S. I Love You, Jerry's Death, and then not having the glasses of My Girl. Jimmy, we'll start with you.
I'm gonna go with P.S. I Love You. The glasses was memorable in memory, but it doesn't bring any emotion to me at all. Probably because I watched it when I was like 8. But
I was about to say, you watch it now, it's gonna break you. It's gonna break you now.
All right, Kenny.
I watched it before this, and it didn't.
It didn't hit.
It wasn't there for me.
I'm going with the glasses. I'm going with the glasses. It's memorable. Right. I say it all the time. You can't go without the glasses all the time.
I can't go without my glasses either. Matt.
No, I'm going with My Girl. That scene is. So
it's iconic for sure.
It is. Like I mentioned it a little bit earlier. It was just when you really start to realize that it's just a child that doesn't understand. Like that almost breaks your heart more than anything else.
The memes ruined it for me though. Like I see it was sad, but the memes like now I'll be laughing when I see it it was really a serious scene. It's like damn. Now I'm over here giggling at it.
All right. Then we got the first 30 seconds of Up, and then Never Ending Story, the horse drowning in the quicksand. Matt, we'll start with you.
Going up.
Kenny.
Can I use I guess good. Thank God. I'm gonna abstain from this one. I was gonna use a phone a friend and have somebody. I was gonna let you pull the audience for this one because I don't remember Never Ending Story and I haven't seen Up. So,
all right.
But I'm glad you guys took.
I'm giving it the sympathy vote. All right. The ending of Boy Meets World and Mufasa. Jimmy.
Oh God. Jeez. I'm gonna go with Mufasa because it's iconic as fuck and still brings emotion to me right now. So
it's definitely Mufasa. Killing your brother and then faking like he got a murder and then be like, "Hey, hyenas, kill him." That's crazy. That's insane.
Matt.
Bubba, I live in a house full of women. What do you want from me?
Watching P.S. I Love You, but not seeing Up is nuts.
My kids are all too old. Like, I'm lucky I even got to see Encanto. And that was because my 20-year-old made me sit down and watch it with her.
All right. I was going to say, you have is it 6 daughters?
5.
5. Okay.
5.
Yeah. Plus the wife. So, yeah, it is a female house.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Matt.
No, we'll stay with Mufasa. I think that's still the right call here.
All right.
Bubba, you know who I am. You've been here before.
He said, "What do you mean?"
Hey, I know someone
my
that has
game is shit.
Hey, that's my kind of guy. I actually got confused for a second if Bubba was talking to Jimmy or to me, but
so then we got The Walking Dead when Carol has her look at the flowers. And
how did these both end up together?
I don't know how these got together. I just realized that. And then Glenn's death on The Walking Dead. Kenny.
I'm definitely going Glenn. I'm going Glenn for sure. It was just the way he did it too. It was just, and so we're not done here.
It was like after 2 straight episodes of like being pregnant and stuff too. Like she was pregnant with Glenn's kid, and it was like, okay, maybe they'll find a way to make this work, and maybe they won't stick to what the comics do.
Nope. Nope. Gotta go.
Matt, what's yours?
Like I said, I had one of these on my list and one of them not. So I'm going with Look at the Flowers.
I'm gonna go with Glenn because, as my aforementioned about one deserving, one not deserving.
All right. And then the house falling in Encanto, and then Spider-Man's death in Infinity War. Jimmy.
I'm on Encanto. Oh God. Think about it.
Kenny?
Spider-Man. He was just a child.
Just a boy.
He was just a boy.
And Matt, tiebreaker.
Encanto.
Remember, the
going
miracle
Encanto
is you. The miracle is you.
All right.
I almost
Then we
put
got
Encanto on here.
next round, Will Smith versus Will Smith. Why Don't He Want Me? Or The Dog Dying? Matt.
I know I put The Dog Dying on here and said it was number 1, but man, the Why Don't He Want Me just hit home a different
my
way.
God.
It's
It
got to
just-
get my vote.
Rocks me to my core still. Even just thinking about it, I'm misting up.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny?
This is close. I'm gonna go Why Don't He Want Me, man?
All right.
I'm gonna make that unanimous.
That's
That
crazy.
that stands the test of time too. Like just
The dog
think-
being swept is crazy.
But
would agree with that.
But
that I
you
didn't
saw
expect
in
in
his face when he looked at him, it was like, "All right, I'll see you, Lou." He called him Lou. Like he's not no longer his father. It was sad. It's like, sheesh.
I mean, but then the hug afterwards too. Well, like that one just
Yeah, that whole
Oh.
scene was just sad.
My
Everything
body
about that
is
was
like
sad.
my body is tingling right now just thinking
You
about
looked
just
at him
you guys
and
meant saying it.
You saw it break his spirit when he called him
Oh.
Lou. He was like, Lou. And then he was like, all right. He was just like, all right. Like, it was another day for him. He was like, all right, I'll see you. He walked off. He's like, damn. He's like, I did all this without him, did this without him, man. You know, to hell without him. He was hurting. It was such a good scene.
Oh, it was so perfect.
All right. Then we got Sarah's Death in The Last of Us and No Glasses from My Girl. Kenny.
A kid's dying.
It's Sarah-
Which kid's
it's
dying
Sarah's
is
death.
worse?
It's Sarah's death. But
All right.
I keep laughing with the glasses. I'm sorry. It's the memes, man. It's the memes.
Jimmy?
I'm still on Sarah's death.
Matt.
I don't even know what this is, but so I'm not going with it. So
Uh,
go sit with no glasses.
That's
Sounds like
crazy that
just
you
go
haven't
watch
played
the
or
first
watched.
episode of The Last of Us, and you'll feel it.
You'll be
no matter
fucked up.
what. In the movie they did or the show they did a really really good job of getting you in the first like 30 to 45 seconds of introducing to this character. They get you to fall in love with her, and then yeah, it is when they kill her, it's just heart wrenching.
All right. We got a cartoon still alive here. So we got Up versus Mufasa. Jimmy.
I'm Mufasa.
Kenny.
It's Mufasa.
And Matt.
It's off. That one was up. I'm up is still getting my vote here. That's a bad pick. That's a
Too
bad
bad
pick.
that one's down. All right. Then we got Glenn's Death in Walking Dead and The House Falling in Encanto. Matt.
Encanto.
Kenny.
I'm gonna go Encanto.
I am gonna unanimous that one because in Kanto there was no anger at all. In Glenn's death, it went from really sad to really angry really fast, and I think Encanto is just all sadness.
All right.
I don't know if I could do these last four. These are.
I was
rough.
gonna say Mufasa versus To Hell with Him are gonna be. That's the one that's gonna be like, damn. If they go at it.
Mufasa-
A cartoon is getting to the finals.
It has to.
We have
It has
confirmed
to.
that. All right. So Will Smith, Why Don't He Want Me? All right, Fresh Prince. And then Sarah's Death and Last of Us.
Oh my goodness.
Kenny.
I'm going To Hell with Him. To Hell with Him.
Matt.
Do you have to ask now?
I am really hard torn on. These are the two hard ones. Like, yeah, I'm glad you guys took that out of me. I'm gonna go with Sarah's death, so she gets this honorable mention.
All right.
Both of those just crushed my entire soul.
Then we got Mufasa versus The House Falling in Encanto. Jimmy.
I'm on Encanto. Mufasa, again, same thing with Glenn's death. It got me to the point where I was pretty angry afterwards. I was sad and heartbroken for Simba, but I was angry more so than just heartbroken.
Kenny.
You talking about The House Falling? He fell. Go Mufasa.
But the whole family died. The whole
Was
people in their
fell.
family.
That was sad.
How you going, Mufasa then?
Yeah, definitely go Mufasa. Yeah.
Okay. And Matt.
I'm actually sad because I feel like if Jimmy watched Up, it would have beaten Mufasa. There, just listening to these arguments between
What?
Sarah's death and then that one.
Nah.
We'll keep Mufasa. We'll keep Mufasa going forward here.
Well, that makes
Up
that
was
makes this
sad.
last
That
one
was
real
sad.
easy then, right?
It's the
Yes.
iconic one. It's the iconic one.
Mufasa was sad.
It is
everything,
iconic.
Everything about that is sad. Like
I
everything
think if
about
Encanto had been if you could swap where Encanto is with where the Lion King is, I think we'd be having that same conversation about like how iconic Encanto is, whereas Mufasa is like still kind of fresh. But yeah, I feel you on that.
All right. We made it to the finals, and it's a
Y'all
banger.
did it too. Y'all did it too.
Yeah,
This is really-
Mufasa. First, the Why Don't He Want Me from Fresh Prince.
Mm.
We'll start with you, Kenny.
All right. I'm gonna go with Mufasa. I'm gonna go Mufasa just because it's just everything surrounding that. That was like they're both family because like it's fucked up because both of them are family. But that one he killed his family out of jealousy. Like he loved him and he looked out for him and said, "Brother, help me," and he killed him. The one person you think is gonna help you, your brother, and he kills you is insane.
I feel like he could have saw that coming.
Definitely could have seen that
he
coming.
didn't show any signs like that though. Before that, he
was out in the hyena land by himself.
Yeah,
he could have been
was
mixing
alien
with the.
league.
He could have been with the hood rats. That was, that's all that was. He was messing with the hood rats. He's like, you know what? I like the like the act
By the way,
up
this
out
is,
here.
this is another racist movie. By the way, you're just gonna have all these regular lions and then give one lion a black mane and then make him the bad guy.
Well,
You
that's
talking
what
about-
they've always
Oh
done.
yeah. No, I'm
Every
with you on
Disney
that. I'm with you on
movie,
that. It's
the
dark
bad
skins
guy is
versus light
black.
skins. Dark skins versus light skins. That's all
Yeah.
that movie was.
And even not so much that, but every movie from like pre 2010s, it's the bad guy is always black. They're never and black or dark shadowed or like it's wild. It's crazy.
Bro, I'm just telling you, we used to work. I used to work down at Disney World. The way that they treated us might as well have been slave labor. We were just,
I mean,
jeez,
it is Disney.
jeez.
All right. Matt, your pick.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody make the comment. I think there's one thing that we've figured out with having these two at the finals is that we all have daddy issues here.
Yeah,
Like, these are the ones that made us the most emotional. And I'm going to give both movies some credit because they had a hell of a run of things that they had to go through. Like the movies that each one of these knocked out to get here, or the scenes are pretty impressive. But
only Will Smith can knock out Will Smith. That's my philosophy here.
no, that part's right. But I said it from the beginning a couple times. I'm sticking with it. I'm giving extra credit if it didn't have to do with a death. That's an easy sellout to make you feel emotional. So I'll take Will Smith on this one.
Listen,
And
Will Smith will always be the GOAT unless it's up against Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm just gonna say that.
That's insane. That is insane.
I only said that to get you going.
Hey,
All right.
he's a good actor, but no.
Jake Gyllenhaal is my number 2. Will Smith's number 1.
So
all right.
not a single other one of these in the lineup made my body physically like sting until we were getting actual lines out of the like, why don't he like that? I have to go with Will Smith. Like that one is physically affecting me right now, apart from having watched it, and I think that just speaks volumes.
See, I wasn't even mad at that. Like these two were these were the top 2 for me. These were literally the top 2 for me, and I was like, yeah, these are. If they get to the finals, I'm gonna be stuck. So I'm not even mad that Mufasa lost that one. It's lost to a good one.
That was good. So officially, the number 1 saddest moment on television / movies is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Why Don't He Want Me?
To hell with them.
So next up, as always, we have our. Everyone just starts crying.
He's like, I got my first girlfriend without him. Yeah, I started going to. I got to school without him. I got this without him. It's like,
daddy issues. They get worse when you're a parent. Ugh.
The funny thing is, like, my dad was in my life, and I was like, man, I was over there like,
Oh,
my dad was watching it with me, like,
Hey, but you know what? Just for the other two that I do know, I don't know Jimmy that well, but man, 5 daughters, I just have to assume that this statement's gonna be right. Look, at these things shaped us into being the fathers that we are, and we're gonna be there for our kids and all that stuff. So go us, go these things teaching us to be good dads.
I'm going through some stuff right now with my kids. Empty nesting syndrome, trying to move away and all this stuff. And all of the stuff is coming out about how, you try so hard not to be your father or any of the fathers on this list that created what they created. And it's a really heartbreaking thing to find out that you fell short because, I mean, who do we emulate? We don't. We just do what we think is best. We know what not to emulate, but pushing through and doing what you think is best and finding out later that you were wrong, but you have to swallow it, and you can't go back. So you have to kind of forgive yourself and move on and be a better person on the next day and try and be the best parent you can. Like I said, mine are 21, 20, 20, and 19. So like my raising them is done. So all the mistakes are already locked in. They're good to go. Like all the hurt that I put on them and all the trauma that I've inflicted unknowingly to them is already in place. So
you
now
said 21, 21, 20, 19. You had a like 3-year gap where you were just acting a fool.
My wife had twins. The two 20-year-olds are twins, and my wife had a 20. She was 3 and they were 2 at the time, but I adopted her 3 kids, and then I had one of my own, and I have the oldest and the youngest by a full month and a half. And then it's the 2 are the same age that we both had when we were in high school, and then the twins she had outside of high school, and I had one after that. So they're all real close in ages, and they're all girls. So
I'm with you there. I got like 2.5 now because I got one that's 2, one that's 1, and one that'll be here in like 15 weeks.
Well, congrats.
I just got the one.
All right, now for the best part of the show, recommendations. I got 2 of them now. One just came to me. So no pun intended. Yeah, first one, swallowing. That's going to be the first recommendation. Go ahead and swallow. Then you don't have to worry about the stress of having the kids.
My ex-wife told me she did.
Hey, that's
swallowed
crazy.
with her underneath.
As a man told another man swallow. That's crazy. I ain't gonna worry about this.
Oh, God, no. If I ever see that, I would fucking.
Hey, we are in
That is the
2024,
craziest
man.
shit I've ever heard.
We're in 2024. You never know.
Oh
Some
my
people
God.
like their own flavors.
Look straight down.
Could you imagine though? If you did that to someone, you would never speak to that partner again. There's no fucking way.
Imagine her face. She's like, what the?
She's like, no, you got to pull out, and you just fucking.
No, from the other side, you pull out. And you got to make sure it's safe. I'm gonna make sure you can't get out there. You ain't gonna get me, bitch.
I heard it's good for my teeth.
That's like the end of Saw. Just watching. Just scared.
And then my other recommendation is going to be supporting small businesses. This weekend we had our town festival, and they had like a bunch of small businesses set up around there. So I just highly recommend supporting small businesses. They need it more than Walmart.
For sure.
Matt, what's your recommendation?
Honestly, I had it, and now I just completely forgot it. Oh no, I remember now. Listen, it's getting to be nice out. So go outside and do stuff. Stop playing stupid video games and go enjoy the nice stuff outside.
Yeah, play fucking chess out in the lawn.
Hell yeah, brother.
No. Like Lord of the Rings? No.
Kenny.
No.
I recommend getting an old school system. That's what I recommend getting. Like the Super Console X Pro.
God damn it. Man, it's recommended the same fucking thing 4 times.
Gotta bring it back. All right. No, for real, I recommend the movie Deep Blue Sea. If you guys never seen it, it is a
is that the Samuel Jackson one?
Yes. They deal with sharks. So imagine Samuel Jackson dealing with sharks.
Wait,
Samuel
is that
Jackson dealt with.
LL Cool J's in that one too, right?
He is in
Is
that
that
one.
yeah, that's the
LL
LL
in there.
Cool J one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love me
definitely
some shark
recommend that.
movie.
So
I still
that's
need
like
to
an
watch
older
that one.
older classic right there. Definitely a classic. One scene to this day that I did not see coming whatsoever. It got me. So when you see that scene, Joe, I know you're gonna text me like, bro, what? I already know how you're gonna react to it.
I always end up watching the fucking movie that somehow gets brought up on these shows. I mean, we
That's what I'm saying. Hey, look,
I'm
when I
watching
put you
Up
on a
after
movie, you
this,
can't stand there and
just
put you
for
onto
you,
a bad movie. Every time I put you onto a
Right.
movie, it's always been good. It's
How
always
good?
been
How good was
it is
Negotiator?
good. Guess what though? Again, Negotiator was fucking awesome.
fire. Don't say
But,
put you on a
however,
negotiator.
Damone recommended a movie, and I know you're listening right now, Damone. Still, fuck you.
Everything I recommended to you, you end up liking everyone. I don't think I gave you one you did not like.
Blade.
Okay, it was Blade. I forgot about that.
I fucking
Blade,
hate
you have to
Blade.
watch through the eyes of fucking like 90s. Like you have to
That's
go watch a whole
exactly-
bunch of
that's
90s
exactly what I said.
movies, and then you go watch Blade, and you're like, holy shit, that was actually really good. You're watching it after you watch like the Marvel movies. It's just like, oh yeah, CGI was real good back then. It's
Yeah,
like,
see, so we did an episode on Geek in the Sheets where we reviewed Blade. I've never seen it. Those guys have seen it multiple times. So me watching
nostalgia
it for the
factor.
first time now is fucking horrible.
Blade was fire. I don't care what you're talking about. Blade
even
was
better
I
fire.
don't
to
care.
watch it when you were like under 15 too, because like that shit was just like magic.
I just watched it again like a couple weeks ago. That movie's fire.
If you're nostalgia, it's probably sweet. And watching it like as it came out then, probably sweet. Me watching it for the first time now, I've seen much better.
He
As a
threw
rule, I don't
Wendy
go
Wu,
back.
the homecoming warrior, into oncoming traffic. I don't want to hear it. That movie's fire. Picked her up by the chin, just tossed her. Deacon Frost is the man.
All right, Jimmy, what's your recommendation?
I've got two. I'll go with the quick and easy one first. Is look out for motorcycles out there with summer coming in. Looking out for motorcycles, just getting it
that's a
on
good one.
people's minds because buried a lot of people, and I'm on one, and I'm putting a bunch of my family members. My kids are starting to get into it too. So be on the lookout. Give them extra space. You know, just be aware that they exist and just give them a little extra space out there. And the second one would be for all of you newer fathers from an old timer is, do the best you can, forgive yourself along the way, and don't be afraid to relook at yourself, and don't one size fits all your kids. That's one of the big mistakes I made, is one size fits all for all the kids. And you'll know when the kids get left behind on that. And then that probably fixes why most of our daddy issues came up in this particularly, because our parents probably one size fits all us, and we were the ones left out. So, just throw it on the ground. But yeah, so that'll be my recommendations. Don't be afraid to double check yourself and call yourself on your own bullshit, because if you don't, who will?
Those are good. All right, and then plugs. So we'll start with you, Matt, because I know yours are always very important.
Hey, I'm Matt.
All right, Kenny.
You can catch me on all social medias at Bad Guy Spoken. Catch the Bad Guy Spoken podcast on YouTube's. You can also catch Unbiased, the football podcast. You'll see TK throwing the little U. And you can also check out Hood Movie Review. Review all your favorite and not so favorite hood movies. We got Geek in the Sheets. We're talking about all the anime, DC, Marvel, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, anything nerdy. We talk about it on that show. And last but not least, Book It. We talk about nothing but wrestling, and we argue. Have great takes and not so great takes on there.
Book It. A wrestling podcast.
Book it, yeah. Book it, a wrestling podcast.
Jimmy.
Check me out at WNYGaming.com. For all your gaming needs, both tabletop games, as I surprised Joe when I picked video games over tabletop games. Just because I don't enjoy them doesn't mean I can't host, because I do enjoy trading cards, and I do also want to make sure everybody has a safe place to play, and that everybody's welcome. So check out WNYGaming.com, WNY Gaming on all social medias. You can catch me at Blind Ray on most social medias. That's my gamer tag from the other side. You can catch me there, and look forward to seeing you guys around and supporting small businesses, Joe says.
No, for real. If you live in the Buffalo area, you need to go there because I was always like afraid to be a nerd. And when I went to WNY Gaming for the first time to play Magic, I felt at home and I went there weekly for probably like 2 years.
Yeah.
Jimmy makes everyone feel like family there. And it's literally like one of the best environments to ever be in with a nerd. And the fact that he's introducing all these other things into it now, where like I could go there and feel safe playing pickleball with a bunch of nerds or normal people, and playing D&D and
Lines are
the
blurred
escape
now,
room.
man.
I haven't done the escape room yet, but
Ooh, I'm
But you
down
can
for
also
escape
show
room.
these guys that sweet ass mezzanine you built.
yes, I did help build something. I'm terrified of heights, but I did help build it. I
He
wasn't
was
gonna
up there
bitch.
for a
I was
good few
terrified.
minutes.
I was on a fucking top of a dump truck, whatever the fuck that thing was. Terrified for my life. But anyways, you can catch all of our shit at
Just go up the
t13media.com.
ladder, Joe. It's okay.
No, fuck the ladder.
You got the top of the ladder. It's like,
Yeah, man, a
nope,
roof
we
too. I
done.
fucking hate
We
roofs.
done. It's like 6 feet high.
Yeah, I don't care if it's 3 feet high. I don't want to be up there.
I'm right there with you. I'm afraid of heights too. So nah.
Yeah,
Same.
no.
Same.
So t13media.com. Make sure you follow our social medias. We're going to be extremely more active starting tomorrow. We have a bunch of shit that we're planning to do. And like I said, on Tuesdays when we go live, we're going to have those polls where you can vote and we can have the viewers' verdict on the show now. So that was this week's episode. Fuck off.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.